This is part 2 of the HandCab-DC. I have another HandCab that's somewhat similar to this with the controls for a that will run a DCC loco. It's smaller and lighter. So with the power on over here, I won't have any sound on, but we'll put the throttle in forward, give it some throttle, and we notice that the train is going in reverse. So I'll stop the train with the brake. I'll flip the switch on the side, and that's going to change the polarity. So now, when I give it throttle, the train's going forward. So anytime your loco's not going the right way, as far as the way the throttle is set, then you just flip the switch on the side and it changes the polarity. So the throttle is pretty basic. You have to use the brake to stop. So I take the throttle off, the train keeps running, let's say it's coasting. Now I'll start applying the brake, and I can bring the train to a stop with the brake. To go forward, I have to take the brake off, and then I can apply throttle again, and the train's going to take off. The train actually would go faster with this motor controller out of here, because the motor controller, the movement for the throttle doesn't go as far as it can go, but scale speed wise, this is plenty fast enough. So again, if I just take the throttle off, the train is not going to slow down. You have to use the brake to slow the train. So you can bring the train, you can stop it, take the brake off, take the reverser, move it to neutral, move it to reverse, and give it throttle. So the throttle makes you have to operate probably a little bit closer to how a real engineer works, by forcing you to use the brake. The other feature is, if you are, let's say you've got an emergency, you can just flip the reverser to the middle, and you flip the reverser to the middle and you have an emergency stop. There's forward, flip it to the middle, and it's emergency stop. And you can take the throttle off and proceed to do whatever you want to do with it. So there's mechanics in here. There's a couple pulleys that are connected to the rods, wood dowels in there that these are connected to down at the bottom. There's another double pulley that's connected to the motor controller, and when you're moving these back and forth, they are turning the motor controller either on or off. So it's fairly simple. You can print all these parts in 3D. I printed some of this with the resin printer and printed other parts of it with my filament printer. There's a port on the side here. There's a sound card in here, and we'll go to the sound in the next part. In here, you can get to the, you can plug your USB cable into the Arduino that's in here if you need to update the software or so forth. There's a knob here that controls the volume on the sound, so you can adjust the sound anytime. So I think I'll end this part here Thanks for watching. I hope you go on to part 3 and see the sound features that you can have with this throttle. I believe that they're fairly unique. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you go on to the next one.